Hi guys, this is Chris Mess Thump Pumpkin, here to give you our behind the scenes tour!
How are ya? My God.
Not of my house, but of my animation that I did, a fan animation of Final Fantasy X-2. So Final Fantasy X-2 was one of those really special Final Fantasies. It's not conventional, it didn't have to be. It was the first sequel to a Final Fantasy. And it was just so much fun. Like, I just laughed and I loved the playful silliness and like, hello, that's what I'm about. And then next thing we're like, hey, I've got this clip off the internet of Final Fantasy X-2 where Yuna goes to see Walker, and me and my brother just got some audio software and just started playing with it. Let's just do our own voices. And I got so excited that I just wanted to keep going. I'm like, I don't want the adventure to be over. So, I started writing a script and formulated this whole, Yuna wants to get Lulu a gift. Like, hello, she hasn't seen her in ages. She's about to have a baby. And I think I just wanted to be silly with it. So it's like, all right, bring it on. We just started doing, different scenes. I did a few scenes, he did a few scenes, and we thought it'd be really cool to do a different animation style for each. It kept it interesting for us, and also see what we're capable of, see what works. And a lot of it actually happened in Photoshop with the frame animation timeline. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that to anyone now. We sort of got to a certain point with this, and eventually my brother got frustrated and I went to film school, and that was kind of that. And it wasn't until lockdown happened and I had the chance to spend a bit more time on myself, and we made it happen again. So here we are. I suppose one of the things that was glaringly obvious that needed to happen was we needed to upscale the shit, because some of it was even recorded in I think 480 by 240 pixels. It's like, we're talking 1/10 of the standard now, And I learned, good little tip, use Photoshop, import a video as frames, and you can just upscale them. So I just upscaled it using their preserve details tool. So that took it most of the way. And then for some of the scenes that were very basic, I popped them into Illustrator and actually upscaled them using a trace image, so you could trace vector art around what was there. So effectively, we ended up with some new native 4K material from something that was like that big, and we blew it up to this big quite nicely. Yeah, that was an exciting part of it, I think. And obviously the big piece de resistance of 2020 was doing some trials in Character Animator. I saw it was available. I'm like, okay, let's try this tool. It looks simple. I was looking for something simple, and there was a scene that my brother had started working on where Riku and Pain are on top of the ship, and then Pain gets mad at brother for interfering, all that. I replicated his style and spent quite a lot of time drawing all the elements, and my God, it takes forever. At least, for a first timer it did, so that's something to keep in mind if you're going to do something similar. I wanted every single angle of the characters, I wanted multiple angles of the ship, so obviously anything you want to add, you've got to draw it, don't you? But while we're on the note of animating, Character Animator was certainly liberating once you got set up. It was actually quite a lot of fun and easy to bring characters to life. The hardest part was rigging the characters. It does present a few issues if you get it wrong, but also certainly some funny moments. If you're looking to bring an animation to life fairly quickly, I do highly recommend Character Animator. I found it really easy to learn and use, and also if you go to OK Samurai's YouTube channel, he gives you a complete breakdown of exactly how to use it from beginning to end. So if there's any issues you're encountering, you've got a huge amount of support through his tutorials. Yeah, but look, I would say it gave me a lot of confidence again. It's like, this made me laugh then, and it's made me laugh now. A lot of it was frustrating. A lot of it was like, I just want to get this done. I just want to get this done. But then there were just moments where I'm just having fun with it. Like, it's really just mindset. But I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing until I got it done. And basically it was just working like another full-time job, to be honest. It's like, well, we've got nothing else to do anyway, so yeah, it was perfect. I wanted to shout out to the After Effects community on YouTube, character animator tutorials like that. Those two programs is something new I haven't learnt before. And I found, for anyone that's scared of After Effects, if you're familiar with the video editing programs, it's kind of like a video editing program meets Photoshop. It's actually not scary at all. I actually found Illustrator a lot more scary, even to this day, than I do those programs. So just hot tip, don't be afraid of it. What you do need, however, when you're using After Effects or anything these days, is some RAM. I was working with very limited RAM. We're talking 8 gigabytes. I've heard that if you have 32 or 64, you are buttery smooth. I would love some buttery smooth programs. So just keep that in mind. When you start a project, I reckon it's really good to just do a little bit of research, spend an afternoon finding out on communities what you actually need. Working with a frickin' Mac Fusion drive, nah. Never would recommend that again. The project grew quite big. We're talking like, 600 gigabytes or more at some point, especially with render files, yada, yada, yada. Get something that's going to be reliable. You need SSD, you need good RAM, you just want a modern computer. So factor that in, because it just takes up a lot of time just sitting there waiting for things. Granted, if you're just new to it and you want to explore it, and you don't really want to fork out a lot of money for a new computer, yeah, just scale it back a bit maybe. I found things really slowed down when I started switching things to 60 frames per second, and therefore I didn't do much of that. The bit that took me the longest, good question. It was definitely the pain transformation. I remember that took, I would say 2 days, but I feel like it actually took longer. But I hand drew every single frame of her turning from pain into the monster. Managing the whole project, yeah, keep organized. Excel is your best friend. I like a nice little spreadsheet where I can actually tick off what I've done, and then up the top I've got a little like percentage meter saying oh Jesus, because a project like this can just get way out of hand. Put everything in their folders, label them properly. It might take a little bit longer in the beginning, but it will save you a lot of time later. Would I do it again? Ooh, no. Look, it took a lot of effort. I am sure with a faster computer and having already done it once before, I'd be a lot faster. But that, it took months. I reckon if I was to ever tackle something like this again, I'd probably have a team where, we're at least working together, something like that. So, the progress is, keeping pace with your desire for it to be finished, But who's my favorite character? Yuna. Yeah, I voiced her. Hi, I'm Yuna! I don't know if this is like how it goes for professional voice actors, but when I do a laugh, that gets me into like the right tone. So I go, ah! No, I'll try again. Ah! And that's sort of like, because she's not that high pitched, but she is. So like the laugh kind of brings in the crackly voice and brings it down a little bit. God, you'd think I was a singing coach. Which character's voice I found most annoying? Look, I would say Lulu. She was hard to keep doing. Like, you'll notice her voice changes a little bit over the course of it, and it was just hard to get it the same. What would I do differently in the future? I would definitely amp up the action a little bit more. I know that is more work on the animating side. I think it just needs variety, like any storytelling. Yeah, it's interesting coming back to such an old project, but actually still having something to learn from that. So, yeah, look, I'll take that with me. If you want to know anything else about the animation, just ask me. Now that I've had this experience of doing it, like, just shout out. What else will come next? I don't know, but it will sure be interesting. Bye! I hope you like